Hey guys, me again. Sure already know who this is, as it's in the link and all that kind of business. Anyway, I wanted to give my thoughts on this year and on this election in particular. It kind of seems inevitable to not talk about it, um, even even if it's you know in the sort of in a derisive way, which I don't blame anyone who views this as a charade, as a you know just more of the same. But I think that it's fairly important to think about, to talk about, because I think the president more than any other the president more than any other person, at least for me, is more of a bellwether of where a lot of people are, like what they think, what they feel, what their mood is basically. And I think it's important to pay attention to it because of that reason. It's just we have millions upon millions of people that are going to go out and vote. And even if you don't vote, the decision of those millions of people inevitably will have an impact upon your life in a very real way. So while I don't want to tell anyone what to do or how to vote or even to vote, I think that is something that that is important to take into consideration. Now, for myself, I've always been more libertarian, but this year I've been very disappointed with the Libertarian Party for a number of reasons. Um, One, I don't particularly like the candidate. Um, I don't like a lot of his ideas. I don't like his perspective on TPP, his his flip flop on forced vaccinations and such. And I'm just extraordinarily disappointed in how things are shaping up this year. So it kind of seems that we're kind of, as a population, we have to decide between one way or the other, or not decide at all. So there's technically three ways. In either case, as I said, it was a bellwether, and there's a lot of discontent in this country, and I kind of think that no matter what happens, whatever the results of this election are, our country's not really going to be the same as it was before. I think a lot of people get that feeling that things feel different. Something kind of, it's hard to explain, that there's like, it's something in the air, and I think everyone is not necessarily receptive to it, but they get the impression that things are about to change one way or the other. And it's not necessarily going to be something that is necessarily good or necessarily bad. It's kind of hard to gauge right now which way things are going to fall. And while I do not have any particular liking for either candidate, I my reasons are, well, anyone who's met me kind of would know more or less who I'm leaning more towards. But I think that it's important to stay informed as to what these people stand for, and to not rely too much on being overly emotional, or viewing everything through this sort of the mainstream media, or groups that clearly have a bias. I think it's really important that we take things not necessarily at face value, but we should look into things before we should make an informed opinion, is basically my point. But whatever decision that an individual makes, it's important that it is their decision, and it is something that they make after doing research, which I know a lot of people won't. Most people are incredibly reactionary, and it's always easy to believe someone when they're promising the world. So I would always always advise caution in and just be realistic in your expectations as to what you think these people are capable of that are running. And I need not mention their names. We all know who they are. Even if you've been living under a rock, you know other people that have been interested in this. So there's not really any reason to go further. And I do plan on discussing my thoughts on the respective candidates as the election draws nearer, just because I feel that I do have an opinion on it, but as of right now, I don't want to express it. It's late, and I don't want to right now. In either case, I just think that, just a lot of things are coming down the pike, and whether they're good or bad hinges on what the results of this election are. And I feel that we all need to be prepared and to realize that, unlike any other time in history, there's something very, very strange, almost not necessarily paranormal, but there's something like there's about to be a shift of sorts, and things are either going, things are going to go one way or the other, and that's why I kind of feel that this election is important, and that, as I said, to keep yourself informed, the candidates where they stand. Also, to always keep your mind, keep it open, be receptive to new ideas. But that doesn't necessarily mean you accept those ideas as your own. So, I don't really have anything more to say on that. I will leave you guys here. Have a great evening, and I guess I'll have another video soon. Thank you. Bye. And love, peace, and hair grease.